so that all the lovely people who couldn't join us today can hear my grating voice talking for another half an hour. So I'm Jane Stein. I'm the co-founder and managing director of Loop Abroad, and we're very excited to be partnered with World Strides for, I don't know if this is the third or fourth year of this project of the Vet Academy. The program we're going to talk about today is the 2-week Costa Rica veterinary program. So this program combines a week at the Rescue Center Costa Rica, and then a week at Territorio de Zaguates, or Land of the Strays, working with dogs. So it's both wildlife and exotics, and then small animal. Um, Before we talk about any of those specifics, I'd like to talk a little about what I think makes these programs really special. So Loop Abroad's focus has really for a long time been pre-veterinary medicine, pre-veterinary experiences for high school and college students. We do some other things, some vet tech programs and programs for veterinarians and stuff, but mostly we're in that pre-vet space. They're designed to give students exposure to aspects of a veterinary career, to get them time with a veterinarian whose job is to be there to teach them, to focus on them, to make sure they cover all aspects of a curriculum and get that both in a lecture component and then in a really hands-on component that drives that home. And just to understand some different facets of what a veterinary career looks like, what are, different ways you can go in that road, and get a chance to pursue what a student is interested in. If they're interested in wildlife or equine or whatever area they're interested in, and see what could this look like? What about it's exciting to me? What would I want to maybe do next? Building some skills that help them be attractive in, internships or placements in the future, but really just starting to understand what that career is all about, especially at the high school state. And I think the biggest asset of a program like that is their time with the veterinarian and their time with one another, to have other students from all over the country and perhaps outside the country, but for the most part, students are from the US who, are passionate about animals, who care about the world, who care about wildlife, who are on this sort of, I have this idea of a professional track where they're interested in science. They're they're an empathetic and caring and smart and lovely group. And they wouldn't want me to describe them as lovely, I'm sure, but it's wonderful to watch them spend time together and have a cohort who has those different experiences and can say, oh, I'm an FFA, or I'm in 4-H, or my school has you know, a vet assistant program, or I don't know any of that, but I just love animals, or I work on a horse farm or whatever, and share all those experiences and resources and stay connected to one another. And it really is wonderful to watch. Okay, that was a lot of talking. Let's we put some pictures in here to give an idea. There are other pictures on the website, and there are also lots and lots and lots of pictures from last summer and the summer before at these programs. So if you want to see more, you can always reach out to Haley. The Rescue Center Costa Rica primarily is sloths, primates, other small mammals, birds, and reptiles. They do have a hospital on site. They do get patients in. They have a lot of sloth, rescue, rehab, release patients that need care. That's always a highlight for students, as you can see in the picture. But they do get to be up close with these animals. We don't have them touching animals at the expense of the animal, so they can be involved in learning appropriate handling and restraint. They can be involved in feeding and stuff like that where needed, or learning physical exams, but it's not snuggle all the baby program. And some of the animals who will be released, they don't have contact with. And so this is a week where they get to learn a lot about the care of these animals, the methods for rescue, rehab, and release, the process for, for feeding, for monitoring. They get to learn about physical exams and basic health assessments. And they also get to kind of see how the place runs, and learn from all the people who are there. So it's really a wonderful place to spend time. You get that kind of jungle experience that Costa Rica is known for, but you also have, a full clinic on site. And then a good amount of the program in the day is our veterinarian and your trip leader administering a course, basically. So you have lecture time, you have lab time, you have all these sort of hands-on skills being practiced with the microscope, with models, with suturing, just to give you a taste of what's out there, help you figure out what you're interested in, what you like, what aspects of veterinary medicine or a career with animals might most appeal to you. And then you have a week with the dogs. Um, so Territorio de Zaguates, or Land of the Strays, is home to about 1,800 dogs, which is a lot of dogs. It's very loud when you first pull up. And the nice thing about having a companion animal week combined with a wildlife week, which we do in a lot of our locations, is you can really get hands-on with these guys because they want your attention and they want to be held and they want to be touched. They want to have a physical exam. And so you get to learn a lot of sort of the underlying skills and an understanding of kind of basic anatomy, basic physical exams, and a lot of the common issues we see in the tropics, especially where it's wet, right? So skin issues, ear issues, eye issues, really common here, mosquito-borne stuff. And then you do get time in the day to go on the walk, which is what you see in this top right-hand picture. The dogs are in separate runs, but once a day they go on a big long walk on this huge property. And if you've ever taken 1,800 dogs on a walk, you can imagine it's a little bit crazy, but it really is a fun break in the day. This companion animal curriculum is similar to our companion animal curriculum in Thailand. It's designed so that if you know nothing about the medical care of dogs, you can still participate in everything. And it's sort of scaffolded from the beginning so that you learn everything you need to learn to understand what you're doing, to understand what you're looking at in the microscope, or understand, why you're making blood smears this way, what you're going to see in them, why certain dogs are being treated for certain things, how to safely handle them or restrain them, how to check for, how to do ear cytology or skin scrape or all these things, and then what you're looking for. So students really do get a lot out of it. That's the point. But we have seen that students, when they go home, then are more eligible for, volunteer positions or even jobs going forward because they have practiced and demonstrated these skills and learned them from a vet who's doing them to the way we do them in the US. So even though we're working with folks on the ground, we're bringing a teaching vet with you who's teaching you kind of the standards that we adhere to in the US so that you have a chance to practice those skills. Excuse me. You also get the chance to do some cultural activities in Costa Rica. We have some off-site excursions. I think they go to Manuel Antonio National Park and they do a day of a day it is La Tortuga, like a beach day, ocean day. We have this dance troupe that comes in. So you get a chance to experience a little bit of Costa Rica outside of the veterinary medicine stuff, which is always really fun. Manuel Antonio is so beautiful and such an amazing place to visit. Always ranked one of the most beautiful beaches in the world, and it has lots of wildlife to see, and they'll take you with a telescope and show you all these animals. They do have coatis who are happy to take your backpack, so you do have to watch your stuff a little bit. And then you get to try quite a lot of the Costa Rican food. Food's all provided, housing and transport, and all those things are included in the program. So the food varies, but food is something people get nervous about when traveling. So if you want to see more photos or you have more questions about food, let us know. But it's not, spicy or crazy in any way. It's stuff that will be pretty familiar to you and comfortable to you. And that, I think, is the end of the spiel. But we're very happy to answer any questions. We'll turn off the recording. And folks listening to this later who have questions, you can send them